welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Hello, my friend. I am coming to you today with a bonus episode. And I was sitting down today thinking about what I'm going to share with you. And I was going to write it in an email to those of you who are on my email list. And if you're not, you can jump on that. You can go to my website or you can email me directly and get on that list and get my weekly emails. But I was going to send out an email. And then I thought, you know what I really want to do? I want to share this in a podcast. So here I am sharing what I really think is an important message, and I really hope that it helps you today. I was thinking about this weekend. We were in the Philadelphia area. My son was down there. His team had 4 hockey games over the course of Saturday and Sunday. And so we all spent the weekend down there. And during his last game, they were down. The score was 5-2. So they were down 3 goals. And one of his teammates in the third period scored their third goal. And of course, the team was so excited. They had been playing so well, and they just couldn't seem to get the puck into the goal. But that time they did. And so his teammate scored and he celebrated and the team celebrated. And everybody was so excited because they had been trying so hard and they were behind. And it was just a really fun moment to watch these kids doing what they love, score a goal, build their belief that they can come back, that there's a chance that they could still win this game. And as they were celebrating and cheering each other on and hugging as a team, doing the things that his team and so many teams of young kids do when they score a goal and they are really excited and they're in the moment. During that moment of their celebrations, there was a man who was cheering for the other team, who was standing next to my husband and my parents had come up to watch the game. And he bangs on the glass and he yells to the team, my son's team, not his grandson's team, but my son's team. And he tells them to stop celebrating. And he says, look at the scoreboard. The score is 5-3. You don't celebrate when you're down. And I looked at my husband, having just heard this, and I was like, did he just tell these kids to not celebrate? And my husband was like, yep. And he must have overheard me say that. And he was like, you don't celebrate when you're down, and you don't celebrate in front of a goalie who's winning. He's like, I have 2 grandsons who are goalies, and you just don't do that. And I couldn't help but think of how much I disagree with what he said, not only in that moment, but in life in general. What he was saying is that when you're behind, there's no reason to celebrate. And what I said to him when he was saying this stuff to us was, I said, sir, I think those are the most important goals. When you're coming from behind, any goal that moves you closer to where you want to be, any goal that boosts your motivation and your belief that you can win, that you can achieve the results that you are trying to achieve, every one of those deserves to be celebrated. And as I was thinking about this at lunch today, I'm like, oh, kind of laughing to myself of like, I can't believe we even had to have this discussion with him. I just couldn't help but think how so many of us do this all of the time, especially when it comes to creating healthier habits and losing weight. When we feel behind in our journey, we often lose the motivation to continue. We tell ourselves stories like, it's not working, I can't do it, I can never stick with anything. We let our inner mean girl be the louder voice in our head. And not only does it become really hard for us to take the next step or to keep going, what ends up happening is even if we do decide to keep going and we have any potential progress or any wins, we're afraid to celebrate those wins because we believe we can't do it. We believe that the wins are a fluke. We believe that it's not going to stick. And so we hesitate. We devalue the steps that we take. We lose a little motivation along the way every time we devalue the work that we're putting in. And it was the same thing that this guy was saying to us this weekend of don't celebrate yourself from behind. And yet, celebrating yourself, especially when you feel behind, is the most important part. Because what it does is it inspires you to take that next step. When that teammate of my son scored that goal that moved them from being down three to being down two, the team gained energy. They gained excitement. They gained strength to go towards the puck. They were fired up because they believed that they could come back and maybe they thought they could win the game, but maybe they just thought they could get closer. They were one goal closer and then they just focused on the next goal. Can we get the next goal? And if we're not celebrating ourselves when we're behind, we don't build that belief that the next goal counts, that the next step we take matters, that the next pound we lose is 1 pound closer to where we want to be. So often we think that we're behind. We get frustrated that we're not where we should be, or we're disappointed that we're not where we want to be. And in those moments, I really want to encourage you to celebrate yourself for showing up, to celebrate yourself for getting out and going for that walk that you told yourself you were going to go on, for going to the gym or picking up the weights that you told yourself you were going to pick up because you want to feel stronger. Celebrate the fact that you chose to make dinner instead of ordering out because that is a habit that you want to create. Celebrate yourself for adding more vegetables into your diet. Celebrate yourself for going to bed earlier when you said, I'm going to bed earlier tonight. I'm going to prioritize my sleep. Every step that you take matters. And the steps that you can take when you feel behind matter the most. They're the most important steps that you can take. Because if you don't take those steps, you're always going to feel behind. You're never going to believe that you can get there because you're going to stop yourself in your tracks. That voice of your inner mean girl that tells you you can't do it, you can never stick with anything, it's not working, that voice is going to win every single time if you don't allow yourself to celebrate yourself in that moment, especially the moments when you feel behind. So, my friends, I really want you to think about this. I want you to think about the days when you feel frustrated, the days when you feel discouraged, the days when you feel low energy and you want to do something, but you're just down on yourself, the days when you're thinking it's not working, or I'm so far behind, or I can't do this, I really want you to double down on that one next step. Celebrate that step. Use that step as motivation for what is possible for you. When we celebrate ourselves, I have a whole podcast episode. It's one of the very first ones I did on celebrating yourself. You can go back and you can listen to that episode if you want more on this specific topic. But when we can celebrate ourselves, that is what creates momentum to reach our goals. It builds our belief in ourselves. We see what's possible. We prove to ourselves what we are capable of, and we want more of that. And when we can crave that motivation from that celebration, from showing up, even when we are not where we want to be, even when we feel like we're coming from behind, that is what creates change that lasts for a lifetime. That creates confidence in yourself and what you are capable of and what is possible for you to create in your life. So, my friends, do not be afraid of being behind, but do not let the thought that I'm behind stop you in your tracks. I want you to think, I feel behind and I'm going to build the energy and I'm going to build the motivation and I'm going to come back stronger and I'm going to celebrate every single step of the way. All right, my friends, that is a very special bonus episode for you. I would love to hear what you think about this. Give me a shout. Tell me what resonated with you. Share this episode with a friend. As always, please rate and review it. But more importantly, I hope that you go out and take that very next step. I will be back as planned on Friday. If you are loving this podcast, please subscribe, rate, or review. Or if you know someone who would benefit from this message, please share it with them. And if you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, to create habits that make you feel amazing, to lose weight and confidently keep it off while living the life that you love, I invite you to schedule your complimentary 60-minute consultation. We'll discuss where you are, where you want to be, and how my Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl method can help you create the future that you want. You can find the link to book your call in the show notes, or you can also connect with me directly on Instagram at Wellness with Abby H. I can't wait to talk to you.